Hello, this is Roland Dupre with Raymond Library, and I am speaking to Deborah Thorpe, who wrote two books. One is called The Runaway Christmas Tree, and one is Butterfly Kisses. Yes, Deborah, go ahead. Tell us about
Hi, everybody. I'm Debbie Thorpe, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my background to start off. I am retired currently, and I spent my career in human resources. Worked a greater part of my career at Travelers Insurance Company in human resources in various roles, and retired in 2016. I started writing back probably in early 2000 something. I took a course in writing children's literature. I had always had an interest in that, so I decided that I would take this course and see what happened. And so I took the course, and as part of that course, I had to write a story. And the story that I wrote became The Runaway Christmas Tree, the book that I just published a couple of years ago. My teacher for this course told me that she thought it was good enough to be published. So I was very excited about that, but of course I was busy with other things, with work and everything else going on at the time. So I kind of put that part of it on the back burner, even though I had completed the writing of the story. And then when COVID hit, I decided that I was going to pursue getting the book published. So I went ahead, I sought out publishers, I finally settled on one, and I went ahead and I got the book published in 2021. And then after going through the marketing and promotion and so forth of that book, I had another idea. So I decided to write a second book. And that book was just published last month, and that's Butterfly Kisses. And that just, as I said, just came out. And so that's my second book. Now, the first book, Runaway Christmas Tree, that's about a little Christmas tree who doesn't want to end up in a landfill after Christmas. And a little boy that owns the tree helps the tree out and comes up with a novel solution to extend his useful life, if you will. And it gets into some recycling and reusing and the importance of that. So that's the Runaway Christmas Tree. So Butterfly Kisses is my second book, and that was just published last month in July. And that's a very timely topic because it's about a little girl who is starting school for the first time, and she's afraid to start school because she doesn't want to be apart from her mom. So the book is about what she goes through and how her mom helps her, and how in the end she becomes very happy to be at school. But it's about separation anxiety, essentially, which a lot of children and parents go through.
it.
And it's not fun, believe
No,
me.
and it's a beautiful, may I say, it's just a beautiful story. And the
Thank you.
idea of the butterfly is a wonderful metaphor too. I mean, butterfly kisses that they give the mother gives to the daughter, but
Yes,
also the idea that we're becoming butterflies going out into the world, right? I mean,
yes,
it's a beautiful
absolutely,
idea. Yeah. So I'm
absolutely.
sorry I interrupted.
No, that's okay. Did you want me to read a section,
I
a
would
little bit of
love,
the book?
yes, yes.
Okay. This is
Yeah.
the cover of the book here, Butterfly Kisses. Let me read a segment from when Amelia is first going to school for the first time and what her reaction is. When they got to school, again Amelia cried and didn't want her mom to leave. She walked in with her teacher again. When she looked back at her mom, she thought she saw mom wipe away a tear or two. When she was sitting in her seat looking outside and thinking about her mom, she noticed several butterflies around the flowers. Seeing the butterflies made her feel better. At recess that day, she actually played hopscotch with the little girl she had met the day before. That night at home, Amelia told her mother a little more about her day and all the activities. She also told her about the butterflies, and her mom gave her a butterfly kiss. Amelia giggled. The third day of school, Amelia still cried and didn't want to go to school. Her mom was starting to think there's got to be something that will make this easier for her. So that's just a
And
short passage
yeah,
of the book.
and it's a lovely ending to that because it's such a good feeling piece. And I can
Thank you.
imagine that a parent reading this to a child who's going to school for the first time,
Yes,
that's going to give them a whole other world of story, and it's something to hang their hat on, and understand that it's everybody goes through this
yes,
hard changes.
yes. In fact, I was inspired to write this book because when my son was little and when he was first going to daycare, he went through separation anxiety. And he would cry, and then I would cry, and it was terrible. It got so that I couldn't take him to daycare anymore. So it was a horrible thing to go through. So I
Yeah,
wish I
they
had
get
had a book like this.
the child really gets upset when the parent's crying, right?
Yes, that makes it even worse.
So, yeah, this is a great thing to, and each book is very entertaining, but there is this like special lesson that's involved, which is
Yes,
great. It's like, what do they say, a little sugar with the medicine, you know?
yes.
Yeah,
A
it's
spoonful of
wonderful.
sugar makes the medicine go down.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Yes,
right. Mary
yes,
Poppins.
right. That's
Um,
right.
what got you interested? I know you took this course, but
Yes.
wh why do you keep doing what keeps you doing this? What what motivated you?
Well, I get a lot of satisfaction out of once, especially once my first book came out and people were reading it to their children and then they would get back to me and tell me how much their children loved the story, and that motivated me. That made me feel so good. And it just made me want to do it again. It
Yeah,
made me want to do more because I was getting such positive feedback and about the story and about especially about how children react to it. I just wanted to do it again. So that was
yeah.
very motivating.
Now, have you heard reactions from Butterfly Kisses now? Some
I'm just beginning to because it's just really getting out there now.
Mhm.
And so I'm just beginning to get some feedback, and that's been positive as well.
Do you want to talk about the publishing that you did? How
Sure,
it went through?
sure. I decided that I was going to self publish both of these books. So I had to find a reputable publisher to do that. And I did some research on the internet, and I looked at publishers. I narrowed it down to three different publishers that I was interested in. And then I did some more research into those three. I contacted each of them. I talked with them at length. And then I decided which one I was going to go with and which one I was going to sign a contract with. So then we went through the contracting process,
Wow.
and I signed the contract, and then they begin the process of um, of actually starting the publishing. And of course, I submitted the manuscript. Well, you have to submit the manuscript first. They have to accept it. They have to decide they want to publish this. And so I went through that process. They certainly obviously accepted it, and then I began submitting them the illustrations. That was the next step. Now for the Runaway Christmas Tree, my niece did my illustrations for me, so that was great. That was
Wow.
wonderful. Yeah, she's
Wow.
an artist and she was able to do the illustrations, and I thought she did a wonderful job.
Oh, they're very nice. They're very, very
Yes.
Very nice illustrations. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So we worked together on the illustrations for that book. And as the illustrations were completed, I would submit them to the publisher. For Butterfly Kisses, it was a little different because my niece wasn't available to do the book, to do the illustrations. So I had to find an illustrator. So again, I went back to the internet to do some research on how I was going to find an illustrator. So I found a site called Fiverr. And Fiverr is a website where there are lots and lots of freelance people out there who do all kinds of things. So I searched for children's book illustrator. I came up with a number of people, and then they submitted artwork to me. And I looked at their artwork to see what their style was and what I liked, what I didn't like. And again, I narrowed it down to a few, looked at them more closely. And a lot of the illustrators were from foreign countries. So one thing I wanted to make sure of was that they could communicate well in English,
Mhm.
because I wanted them to understand what exactly I was looking for in a particular illustration.
Wow.
So I found somebody I really liked, and he ended up being wonderful to work with. He's in Pakistan. His name is Abdullah Chaudhry, and he did all my illustrations. We did everything over the computer. I would tell him exactly what I was looking for in a particular drawing, and he would produce it, send it to me. I would look at it, make any changes, tell him what I wanted different, or if it was fine the way it was. And then he would submit a final drawing to me, and I would approve it. And then we'd go on to the next one. And we did that for each of the 15 drawings that there are in the book.
Wow.
So it worked out well. And then
That's
after
lovely.
the illustrations are all done, and I submit those to the publisher, then they put together the final book. And then, of course, I have to approve each stage of the process. And then after the book is finally complete, you get that copy in your mail, and it's a wonderful feeling because you finally see the book come to life. And that was great. And then after that, of course, the marketing and promotion begins. So
And
that's the
that's,
process.
yeah, and that's sort of where you are now is
Yes,
marketing.
for Butterfly Kisses, we're doing the marketing and promotion now. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm wishing you well with this because it's such an important lesson for children and their parents coming into school, you
Yes.
know? So I hope we can you can tell the story before they need to have it. They really do need to
Yes.
have this. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
So thank you. Um, Deborah Thorpe, the name is The Runaway Christmas Tree is one book, and Butterfly Kisses is the
Yes, that's
book.
this one.
That's the most important. That's going back to school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and both books can be purchased on Amazon
Mhm.
or on barnesandnoble.com.
That's great. And that's why libraries can get them too, because
Yes, absolutely.
thank you so much. I'm going to end the recording and
Okay.
we'll talk.
Okay, thank you.